Have you ever wondered if animals remember acts of kindness? Imagine risking your life to save a wild predator, only for that same creature to one day return the favor. Would you then believe in the unspoken bond that connects humans and the wild? Across the vast African savanna, the relentless sun scorched the cracked earth, shaping a landscape that was both majestic and unforgiving. Dry winds swept through the golden grasses, carrying waves of heat that shimmered in the distance. From across the wild terrain, the lonely calls of birds echoed, filling the air with a haunting melody. This was a land of both breathtaking beauty and constant peril. Life thrived here, but survival was a daily battle. Arthur, an experienced ranger, steered his old pickup truck along the dusty trail, his sharp eyes scanning the horizon, always alert to the dangers that could emerge at any moment from the unpredictable wilderness. Each day brought new challenges: poachers, injured animals, and the constant responsibility of protecting nature's fragile balance. But today was different. Arthur had received an urgent report from a group of tourists. A leopard had been spotted, trapped inside an abandoned metal pipe near the reserve. The thought unsettled him. Leopards were elusive creatures, built for speed and agility. For one to be trapped meant it was truly in serious distress. When Arthur arrived at the scene, he quickly realized that the situation was worse than he had anticipated. A female leopard, likely around 3 years old, was struggling inside a large steel pipe left behind from an unfinished construction project. Her head and front legs protruded from the opening, but the rest of her body was wedged tightly inside. Her frantic golden eyes darted around, and each desperate attempt to free herself was met with painful roars, evidence of her exhaustion and distress. The skin along her belly and back was scraped raw, streaked with blood against the cold steel. Arthur stepped out of his vehicle, keeping a safe distance to assess the situation. Alongside the desperate cries of the trapped leopard, he heard another sound, a deep rumbling growl. From a distance, not far away, a large male leopard stood watching, his sleek golden coat shimmering under the sun. His eyes glowed with warning. Arthur understood immediately that this was likely her mate, and he was not pleased with the presence of humans. Time was running out if the female was not freed. Soon her injuries could become fatal, or she might succumb to exhaustion, but any rash movement could provoke the male into attacking. Arthur decided to call for backup while waiting for his team. He cautiously approached the trapped leopard, carefully observing her reaction. Her wild eyes flickered with pain and fear, but there was no sign of aggression toward him. Apart from evaluating the female leopard's condition, Arthur also analyzed the environment. The scattered paw prints in the dirt indicated that the male had been pacing the area for some time, watching over his mate, but unable to help. This realization only heightened the tension of the moment. He admired the male's dedication. He could have left her behind, but he had stayed close. A silent guardian, the ranger glanced at the sky. The sun was lowering on the horizon, casting long shadows over the land. Nightfall would bring added dangers not just from a male leopard, but from opportunistic predators that could take advantage of the wounded feline hyenas, lions, and even scavenging jackals that lurked in the darkness. Always searching for an easy meal, when the rescue team arrived, they brought the necessary equipment: metal, cutting saws, a crowbar, and a tranquilizer gun in case the male became aggressive. Arthur and his team devised a careful plan. First, they would distract the male leopard using recorded sounds of another leopard's growls to divert his attention. Meanwhile, they would move in to free the female. One of the rangers activated a speaker playing the recorded growls. The male immediately reacted, growling back, warning, and turning his attention toward the perceived threat. This gave Arthur and his team a brief window of opportunity to move quickly but cautiously. They placed a thick cloth over the female's head to help calm her and began cutting through the pipe. The sound of the cutting saw shrieked through the hot air. The male leopard sensed something was wrong, turned back toward the rescue team. His muscles tensed. He crouched low, growling, and warning. One of the rangers raised the tranquilizer gun, but Arthur motioned. For him to wait, a single misstep could send the situation spiraling out of control. Further, distressing the female cutting through the metal was no easy task. Every spark and vibration made the trapped leopard flinch, her breathing ragged with fear. Sweat trickled down Arthur's forehead as he maneuvered the saw carefully, making precise cuts to avoid further injury to the animal. The team worked with precision, pausing at times to reassess their progress. The scent of blood was strong, and Arthur knew it was only a matter of time before the male lost his patience. The tension in the air was suffocating. Every second counted as the male leopard crept closer. The team braced for the worst. Another ranger held a long pole ready to fend him off if necessary. Arthur felt his pulse racing but kept his focus. He had faced many dangerous situations before, but this was different. The male wasn't just a territorial predator. He was a guardian protecting his injured mate. The last segment of metal finally gave way with a metallic snap. The female leopard let out a pained cry, but immediately scrambled backward. Pulling herself free from a pipe, she stumbled slightly. Her body weakened from the ordeal, but her eyes remained sharp and alert. Arthur and his team stepped back, knowing that the real test was about to begin the moment she was free. The male leopard roared and charged forward. The rescue team tensed, prepared to intervene, but the male rushed past them, ignoring the humans entirely. He went straight to the female, nudging her side with his nose, checking her over. A deep rumbling sound came from his throat, not aggression, but concern. The female, though weak, responded by rubbing her head against his, their bodies moving in silent communication. It was a breathtaking moment, one that revealed the powerful bonds of the wild. Arthur exhaled. Slowly, the danger wasn't over, but they had done their part. The team remained still, waiting for the leopards to make their next move. After several moments, the male helped support the female, guiding her toward the thick brush. She walked with a limp, but she followed, trusting in the presence of her mate. Months later, Arthur was patrolling a remote part of the reserve when he found himself in a dangerous situation while tracking an injured antelope. He inadvertently wandered too close to a pride of lions before he could react. One of the lions, a young but aggressive male, charged at him. Arthur reached for his rifle, but he knew he wouldn't have time to aim before the lion was upon him. A blur of golden movement streaked past him from the tall grass, the male leopard. He had once lunged at the attacking lion, snarling with ferocity. The lion hesitated for a moment before retreating, unwilling to risk a fight with the agile predator. The leopard then turned toward Arthur, its piercing eyes locking with the rangers for a long, charged moment before slipping back into the wilderness. Arthur exhaled slowly, realizing only then that he had been holding his breath. The leopard had remembered him. It was a silent gesture of gratitude, proof that even in the wild, some bonds are never forgotten. This story carries a powerful message about compassion, respect, and the profound connection between humans and wildlife. Through Arthur's courageous act of rescuing the trapped leopard, it highlights the vital importance of protecting nature and learning to coexist with the wild. It also reflects the male leopard's protective instincts and the female's quiet resilience, reminding us that even in the animal kingdom, loyalty and care run deep. The leopard's eventual recovery became a symbol of resilience and the deep bonds that exist within the animal kingdom. When the rescued leopard later repaid Arthur's kindness, the story powerfully reinforced the truth that even in the wild, acts of compassion are never forgotten. Ultimately, it reminds us that every gesture of kindness can leave a lasting impact, fostering a deeper harmony between humans and nature. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.